So it's time now to hear, we've heard from lots of parties this morning, haven't we? It's time to speak now to the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Vince Cable, who joins me here on College Green in Westminster. And thank you for your time, Sir Vince, this morning. We heard a few minutes ago from Ian Blackford, the SNP leader at Westminster, talking about a letter which you have jointly signed to Theresa May, asking amendments, opposition amendments, to be allowed to be heard in any meaningful vote. Obviously this is really crucial, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very clear message we're sending, and we have a different view from them on other issues, is that the government can't just railroad this through Parliament. It's very clear that it doesn't command the support of the majority of MPs at the moment, and Parliament is sovereign, and that must be reflected in the way we debate this.
So a very important thing to focus on in what's going to be a very busy day then. That's being heard by the Procedure Committee this morning, I understand. Looking ahead to this Cabinet meeting this afternoon, do you think Theresa May will get this draft deal that we've heard leaked details of through Cabinet?
Well, she may lose one or two members of it, but that's actually not the crucial stage. The crucial stage is when it comes to Parliament. It's very clear, I think, particularly from the reactions this morning of the Brexiteers, that there isn't a majority in Parliament to pass this bill. I mean, this is going to be the problem. And the central issue is this issue of taking back control, because she's come up with a compromise which involves actually less control than we have at the moment as members of the European Union. We're following a lot of the rules of the single market. There will be a customs union arrangement, but Britain will have no say in it. So, and they're angry that Brexit voters have been sold down the river. I mean, the Liberal Democrats and many other people feel that any deal to leave the European Union is worse than the one we've got. So I think there is a sort of common ground, albeit coming from different directions.
So looking ahead to the next few weeks then, what is the mechanism by which you get to the second vote that the Liberal Democrats want to see?
Well, not just the Liberal Democrats, though we have been leading on this issue for a long time. The mechanism is going to emerge from the debates in Parliament. A variety of options are going to be explored. The government's going to put forward its deal. At the moment, there's nothing like a majority for it. They will taunt their own supporters by saying, there is no deal. I don't think any serious person believes that's plausible or sensible thing to do. There will be the issue of a possible general election, which the Labour Party wants. I don't think there's any appetite for that. We've had several elections in recent years. I think having another one on a wide range of issues doesn't solve this problem. So then we come to the only option that presents a sensible way out of it, which is to have a vote which gives people the choice of the deal the government's got or remaining in the rather better position of being in the European Union.
Do you think at the moment that Theresa May is relying on basically her MPs being whipped into thinking that this is the best deal that the UK can get at the minute, and if they don't go for this, then Brexit is off the table, that there is possibly a no-deal scenario or potentially a general election with Labour or someone else elected into government? Is that what she's relying on, do you think?
They are trying to frighten a lot of the waverers into believing that there are even worse options than the one they've got. I don't think it's going to work, because I don't think anybody really believes the no-deal scenario will happen or makes any sense for the country. I think people will come round to the idea that we're going to have a people's vote. We're going to go back to the public and saying, this is the best the government can do, and she certainly tried hard. Do you really want this, or would you rather stay within the European Union?
You've been solidly Remain, of course, on the Lib Dem front, but do you get any sense, and I don't know whether you've taken any soundings on this from people who voted to leave, whether there has been a significant change or movement away from that position from those voters? Well,
there has been a shift, and there's been very detailed surveys which show that a lot of people are having second thoughts, and it is a recognition that actually any deal that the government's likely to come up with is going to put us in a worse position than we are at the moment, and people will be worse off than they are at the moment. And I think that message is getting through. There are a lot of people who are sticking very firmly to their convictions, but it's very important therefore that we argue it out, and we argue it out in a civilised way. I don't want this to become an acrimonious, divisive argument that's going to go on forever. I think we need to resolve it, and we need to resolve it in a civilised, democratic way in which this country is at its best.
OK, Sir Vince Cable, leader of the Liberal Democrats, thank you very much.